Hi, welcome to this book writing web class training. And today we are going to learn how to publish a book for free. And my name is Sumit, and I'm going to walk you through step by step today. So let's begin. So before we begin, I would really suggest that you get the notebook and pen and paper ready so that you can write anything that you need to really make a note for. And also keep your mobile phone on silent or anything that can distract you. Keep that away from you, and then just let's focus on this web class training. So here are some of my books. Basically, this is my book, The Ultimate Guide to Property Investment. This is my second edition. By the way, the first edition took me few years to write actually, and then I went into some of the book writing training program. I learned some strategies. I learned how to write really books. Then this book I managed to write in just a couple of months. Book, A Guide to Commercial Property Conversion. By the way, you can find all of these books on Amazon by searching by using my name, either Sumit Gupta or by this book title. This book took me a month to write, so little more progress from the first one. And this is my another book, The Money, How to Make, Manage, Maximize, and Master Money. This book I wrote just in 30 hours. So, I mean, likewise, I've got quite a few books that I have published. You can find all of them on Amazon. Just to give you an idea here, basically, I became better and better as I kept writing books. So I decided that, I should basically help others to write the book by, teaching them the same proven system that I've learned. And also I've added some more valuable advantages in that system that I've come across during my experience of writing book, how to really convey this message to somebody who is also like on a journey like me, how I started. Many people I feel would be starting and struggling the same way. So I thought maybe let's design a program for them. So you will have to write the right contents. And what we mean by that is you need to have a clear purpose right from the beginning. When you're writing your book, you need to decide what exactly you want that book to do for you. And then accordingly, you write the content so that it can fulfill your purpose. And then you exactly write what you want the book to do for you. Yeah. And next is precision. Like, so we need to have very clear idea of, let's say in next 5 years down the line, what exactly we want our book to do for us, or how many books do we like to write. For example, I write books on like property or finance and all. So let's say my goal could be like something I would like to write 5 books on property investment, let's say 1 book on commercial property conversion, 2 books on financial freedom, and something like that. And then you've decided, like in 5 years time, how would you like those books to do for you? Like, so you can really keep that in mind and then design the book accordingly, have like a business plan kind of thing where okay, what type of books you are going to write, how many books you are going to write, how you're going to address the audience, and what exactly the purpose of writing those book was. Of course. Now, and the other very important thing is like profile. So keep like avatar reader in mind while you're writing a book. So you can draw any image of your avatar reader. Exactly how do you want, or what type of audience do you think will be reading your book? Keep them in mind and then write a book, because your passion is to write a book is one thing, but then again, you are here to solve someone's problem or to assist someone or to inspire someone. So keep them in mind, because you are writing this book for somebody else, not for you to read yourself. Yeah. So keep the person in mind that you are writing this book for, or the category of that audience in mind who you are addressing to. Yeah. So that, and now the book can really do so many things, so that's why we have mentioned here strategy number 1, strategy number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can really use your book and position it very differently for various different type of businesses. And we'll talk about this later. So let's say one of them, the way you can use it, use the book as a calling card. People, will, if you give them a business card, they can put the business card in a bin, but they will never put your book in a bin. Yeah. So if you give somebody a book, they will not put that in a bin. And also this basically positions you. So when you're giving somebody a book, it really gives you a different positioning there. Have the best cover page. A book might be judged by its cover page. Not only might be, it's definitely it plays a huge role there. So get a good, designer. Don't just go for anything cheaper or do it yourself kind of option, go for the best book, because you're putting your heart and soul while writing a book. You don't want like to write such book which cover page is not so inspiring that people are not picking up the book which you have put all of your heart, soul, your efforts and everything. So of course, in our workshop we discuss more about it, how to select a right designer, who to select, how to instruct them, what exactly you need to look for, and then what type of design you need to go for on that later. And use the book for capturing the lead. You may have seen, like a lot of people basically offer this kind of things that, you leave your name and email address and we'll give you a free book. Or just sometimes they say, you just cover the post and packaging and then we have covered the cost of the book. You just leave your name, email address and just pay for the shipping. And so basically, which is like, opt-in. So because when you are really, in any business, you can probably offer your book for a lower, you know, value of product. So let's say for a book you may not be charging much. It could be the one of the cheapest product available in your product or in your shop, but then from the book it can get you more leads. So let's say this can really help you where there are cold leads. You can warm them up by giving them your book, or once they've read about your business and your product from the book, they will probably go and buy the next product from you. So from the cold lead you can make them warm, or from warm you can make them hot, and then really you can sell the upper product, or like you can sell, you can upsell basically from there. And you can use it to create multiple sources of income. So let's say for example the same book that you're writing, for example let's say you are good into something, let's say you're good in baking cake, right? And then you decided to write a book on that, and now the same knowledge that you have packaged in your book, you can also create that same knowledge into MP3, and that MP3 you can again sell it as a training program. Yeah, so people can really, while they're driving their car, while they're into something else, they can still, while they're traveling or into plane or anywhere, they can really listen to the knowledge, and you get paid separately for those MP3 sale, like which could be DVD, C, or other kind of MP3 things. And also you can repackage them in MP4, which means like a video, so you can have like a some CD which people can watch in there, because many times people don't really like to read, or like they are not really too much into reading books and all. So people love to see the things also on like as a in form of video. So you can also hire, even we teach a lot of things about how to create or repackage these things in our workshop. But then these are the things you can keep in mind as an idea, that you can also repackage this same book knowledge into MP3 file, into video files, into something else. Also, like we design a lot of workshops. So let's say you can design a workshop based on the same knowledge, where people come learn in the workshop itself, and then you basically teach similar knowledge in the workshop where they are experiencing right with you, and they are able to understand it better, and then you can design even the workshop. And likewise there are so many things. Yeah, so basically let's say, so put it this way, so the book could be your DIY product, which is do it yourself. So you can offer somebody your book, and that could be a lower ticket value product in your company. And then you can say, okay fine, here is my book, you can learn from it. Let's say for example in my case, I have written a book, The Ultimate Guide to Property Investment. So people can learn about the 10 property investment strategies. They can learn from the book, and then they can really implement if they are able to read and implement everything from there. But then some people will say, what, we don't really get too much, we don't have an interest in reading books and all. So they can come to a workshop, and then from there you can go with done with you product, which is like they come to your workshop, they learn while you're in the workshop, and then from there maybe some people, let's say for example we took a example of the cake baking. Yeah, so let's say for example your book could be something where you put the 6-step system or 7-step system how to bake a cake, right? And then the same thing people will say, but from the book we can't learn, we like to see practically. Then so people come in your workshop, you show them how to bake a cake in front of them, and then they can just follow your step. Yep. And likewise, let's say for example some people will say, but you know what, we neither have a time to read from your book, or we neither have a time to come to your workshop, but my birthday is in the evening, I just need a cake. So you say, okay fine, you pay for the cake, and then here is your cake. So that's basically called done for you service. So basically these books then again give you that door opening where you can sell the other product in the line which are higher in value after this book. So that's another way of positioning, and use it to boost the sales. Book owner does better sales than others. This research says that whoever owns the books can, I mean, book writers. I mean, of course, when I wrote my first book, automatically my business started doing 2 times, 3 times more businesses, and it was becoming much easier to get business. So I mean, it's quite obvious that if you are an author, people will take you in a different way, and also how much referral you will get from the book itself. That's a lot, like, so you can really give somebody a book, because they say when you have something to sell, not everybody in a position to buy, right? So what you can do so that when they are in a position to buy, you are in front of them, which means you need to expert position yourself, which book will do it for you. Because when you have wrote a book, you've given somebody a book, and somebody has bought your book and read, then they know, okay, fine, in this field, if I need ever something in that field, I can go to this person. So whenever they are in a position to buy, they will then come back to you, and then book will do that for you. By the way, now I'm just going through the various things what the book can do for you, but then of course we are going to go through like how contents together and all, so bear with me for that. uh, and you can use it to get publicity, and you can get publicity all over the world, because you can put books online, you can sell it in a different way where book can really give you free publicity all over the world, and people can really know more about you, about your product, about your company through your book. And like a lot of people have this voices in their head, like whether you're worthy, whether you know something or not, whether you can write the book. Of course, this is like a whole uh, a different subject, where in fact we run a lot of live coaching webinars and seminars on that. So that's some completely different, but then of course we address that differently. But here what we're saying is, when you come in a workshop, you will learn like how to really control all those voices. And then the research shows that only 1 out of 100,000 people are able to write their book. I mean, many people have the dream to write book, but not everybody end up completing their book. And which is like a very shocking, isn't it? Like, it's not even 1%, is 0.001% kind of thing. So it is very important, like we should complete, and that's the whole reason we designed this workshop, so that we can really help people by holding their hand and showing them how to write. And you can use it as DIY, as I mentioned, so you can be use this as like a do-it-yourself product, and you can also help underprivileged community without spending too much of your valuable time. Because what happens, like, there are knowledge that you all will agree that over a period of time we have learned so much from so many people by traveling to so many places and experienced during our life journey. So we have so much to share, and there are plenty of people in the world who would like to learn from the experience that we have learned, right? So let's say, for example, wherever you are now, in let's say after 5, 10, 20 years of experience, there are people who have started their journey in that field. Yeah, so which means you have a lot more to share with those people. And many times there are people who are underprivileged and they can't really access to your knowledge or something. But then book is another way of how you can really give somebody a book, or you can really give them something for hardly for anything, and then you can help the people, because it's not taking too much of your time. Once you've wrote a book, it's basically just intellectual property for you. You can just uh, use that as a gift. I mean, I use many times, I give just my book as a gift to people who are interested in property and finance. So let's discuss about how to put all of this together. So the first thing we need to do is we have to plan it well. They say that well plan is half done. So now the way we need to plan is we have to really structure everything. What exactly I'm going to write, what topic I'm going to choose. Of course, we discuss that more in, of course, in our workshop, but then these are just the tips I'm giving you. But then everything what we are discussing here, we go more in details and practically. And I'll discuss also a little bit more in details, like how exactly that thing works. So we plan exactly the type of contents we would like to write, how to chunk those knowledge into pieces so that we can make different chapters. And when I'm going to write the book, set a date, set a time, set some like 1 hour a day or 1 hour a week or something, whatever you feel you're comfortable with, set that plan and then stick to that plan so that you can finish your book. Produce. So in terms of producing, I mean, of course, this is where the strategy comes in play, where we have a strategy where we can extract the knowledge out of your head and put that into the book, so that we design the book using that skills. There are certain type of questions and other things that we ask you, and then we can extract that knowledge out of your head, which you will probably sometime feel surprised. Oh, really, this knowledge has come out of my head? Yes, we do those things. But let's understand the system of the production. So how it works is, let's say the example which we took before, let's say if you're good in baking a cake, all you have to do is, because when we are doing something, we are doing that unconsciously many times, because we become so good that we are not aware of those system. So what we have to do is we have to take out ourselves out of that system, and then look at that process as a witness. So we witness the system. So we take a step back and we say, okay, fine, hold on, let me see, how did I bake this cake? So you say, okay, what are the ingredients did I use, what are the things that, or the steps that I followed? So you watch yourself doing all those things, keep writing each step by step, and then you say, okay, here are my 6-step recipe to bake a cake. That's how you basically chunk, or like you design your content, by stepping back and then seeing the process and noting down each and every details of that process, and then you write your contents and in a different chapters of your book, and then you complete your book. Of course, we'll discuss that also a little bit later on, how you basically chunk those, how you write various chapters. But that production, the idea here is basically extracting your whatever you specialize in into step-by-step system, so that you can produce the contents for your book. And the publishing, of course, there are various things that ways you can publish. Like, say for example, you can use Amazon Kindle publishing, which self-publishing also is like a free. There are many other creative way. We normally teach you more about it in a workshop, where you will see how we will publish our book completely free. Yeah, there are a lot of strategies which are worth like anything, and that's what we will teach in the workshop. So a little bit more on this in the workshop itself, but then so those strategy will help. Yeah, and then we'll show this again on the promotion, how you really promote and get your book sold, and really position this book in such a way that it can really fulfill the purpose, the reason why you wrote the book. You can really achieve that by promoting it. But more on this last two part, publishing and promote, in our workshop. But at least you got an idea, like discuss about the book structure itself. So when we start a book, basically we start with preface. Like, so it could be you thanking your family, your friends, your guru, your mentor, whoever you've learned something from, whoever has inspired you to write this book. That's what goes here in preface. Then you position your audience. In positioning the audience, basically you are saying to your audience, why this book is good for them, or like what you're writing, these contents of this book, you are positioning those contents in front of the audience. So let's say if you are in a property field, you're saying, okay, fine, in this book I'm going to walk you through how to invest in property in a new way, and where you can really become financially free in 18 months or whatever your field is. And then you accordingly write and position that book for, and then you write the subject. So let's say, as we discuss about it, then you go into the subject of the book. So let's say you say, in this book I'm going to discuss about the 10 best property investment strategies that has made millions of pounds to our students, mentee, or investors, whatever you like to say that. So you position that subject in your book in the next step. Then you basically position the time. So time could be like, so what happens, there are contents, and audience need to understand that the contents are still relevant to the time. There are some books which are written 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, or even thousands of years ago. They are like a timeless knowledge. They can be still relevant in today's time. So you need to write a book in such a way that, when people are reading at that point, they feel it relevant. So like, say some of the book example, like, we have one of the Hindu scripture, which is a timeless conversation, which is a Bhagavad Gita. That's a timeless knowledge. You can use that knowledge anytime. Yeah. So likewise, so whatever you're writing, you need to understand whether is any specific time related, or can I position in such a way so that it can keep selling in future for next 20 years or so. And then you position your book, so you just say, why the reader should read this book, how this book is going to help them. So you show all those steps there, that down in this book I'm going to walk you through a very strategy, how I've basically made a lot of money using one of those strategy or using some of those strategies, how I basically have built my portfolio without having none of my own money or something like that. And you say, in this book I'm going to really show you that. So you position that book in front. So next, you basically start with your prologue, which could be like little bit more. So yeah, like the story, you say your personal story, and there's a creative way of how to show your story so that people and the audience feel engaged. Like they say, content tells and a story shall. I mean, so when you have a story, a nice inspiring story will sell your content. So this will also help, because many times when people, before they buy the book, they see this first part, and then if they get inspired during this first part, then they may buy the book, or at this stage they may decide not to buy. So this is, I mean, this is like a whole workshop where we learn, I mean, where we teach people how to really structure your life personal story that will look more inspiring, and how to really structure that. And also, but then here basically all you're going through is like showing in short, you're going through, I mean, you're going to show them throughout your life story, right from your beginning to here. You're showing all ups and down in your life, how it happened, what was the turning point in your life, and all those light bulb opening things in your moment in your life. All that comes basically here. Then in the chapter 1, you position yourself. So basically you show more about why the people should listen this from you, what is that you have better, that you feel yourself authority in the field, and you are really teaching them that subject. So you need to show why you feel you are basically mastering that subject, or whatever you are sharing, basically why is, what's your position in there, and why they will find you being a expert, or you being a interesting person they should listen to. Then in chapter 2, here you basically position the need of that topic that you are writing your books on, or you position that particular industry, or you position that opportunity, and you provide the proof. You also position why they should read. So let's say, for example, in my case, when I wrote a book on property investment, I mean, so it basically says the why there's a need of reading that such book, because we just say like for example, like many of I mean, most, the world's most richest people have either made money from the property, or they made money elsewhere but then ultimately invested in property. I mean, you won't find any millionaire who is still living with their parents. Yeah, it won't be possible. So something like that. And then also so this is where you position the need of the book. You position here the industry as well, like the property investment, why the property industry is really good to consider. And then you are also showing them the opportunity, why the property is such a big uh, field. Or I mean, I'm just giving an example, but then you can use your own field and say why that particular field has potential and a lot of opportunity. And everything what you say, you provide the proof. So let's say when we teach something about property, you say, look at this, I'm going to show you this particular strategy where I've managed to make 100% return in 18 months time, or something like that. Yeah. And then also you position why basically they should read this book. Why is it important to, let's say in my case, why was it important to invest in property? Why not in shares? Why not in gold or something else? So we basically compare those reasons, and also we say, oh, you know what, I've been investing in property and shares and other things, but the property was way more and far better than anything else. So let's say, for example, you'll say, if I'll do a stock trading, and if I need 1 million, if I'll go to bank and borrow, bank will not give me 1 million for buying shares, but they will give me 1 million if I buy a right property, right? Something like that. So that's just few examples. And then in chapter 3 you write, how did you work it out that UBS system, the unique branded solution, or like whatever the field you have, that the solution that you're providing. So you just say, you give little bit information in the story about how that system was built. Say for example, in my case, when I was initially struggling writing a book, it took me few years. Then I came across with a lot of other training program. I learned from that. Then also I found there was few things which was not really, people can learn, but then they were not able to implement. So I decided, to design a training program where anybody can just learn. And when they come in our workshop, basically, we promise them that by the end of third day, which is like a 3 days workshop, your book contents are ready, all within the workshop itself. So we are not saying, you come learn and then just go home and write a book. No, you're basically writing the book while you are in the workshop, and we ensure that you finish your book before you leave the workshop. So that's how we design this, so that so this is where you give little bit story of that system, why this system was worked out, why did you decided to make such kind of things, and then you give little overview. Now the next one is from chapter 4 to 10. You're breaking down that steps. So you remember we mentioned, so whatever that thing is, if it is a recipe of how to bake a cake, you basically split that into chapter 4 to 10. So you show all those some method, some strategy, break each steps down step by step, old way, and then you show new way. For example, in my property business, I normally show the old and traditional way of investing in property is not really going to give you a lot of returns and better profit. Say for example, when you buy in olden way, you put your 20% down payment, you borrow 75% from the bank, and then you make this much money. You show them with example how much return you make that way. And then we show them the new way, like we are now making creative deals and strategies where we buy property with £1. Yes, with £1, that too in London. So those are like a new way of that, basically completely take off the old way, and then you are using the new strategies, the way that you are teaching here, which will help them to grow faster and in a smart way. Yeah. And then you share your beliefs, is believe, like why you believe that is the right way, how it works, and then you give them some example in chapter one by one. And then you can so basically you give examples, you tell story, ask yourself the questions as well. Yeah, because since this is a book, so audience is not there to ask you questions, so you need to be smart enough to answer those questions before even they will ask. So you basically design your frequently asked question that you automatically build put into your book. So you basically answer all those questions that you feel your audience could have in their mind. Yeah, so when then they ask, before they even ask, you already position that through a step system in your different chapters, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. Yeah. And then you give its examples, because what happens if you keep writing and then you're not giving examples, or if you're not giving us stories and everything, then the audience will feel bored, they will not read book much. So what you have to do is you need to ensure that you are giving them a graph, you're giving them a charts, you're giving them stories, you're giving them various example that they can relate to. And then that example should be a universal example which everybody else can everybody can relate. So it can be like a very much universal examples that you feel that people will accept to that example. Yeah. So something like that you need to put in your book. And then also pictures really helps a lot. You use a graph, because then that will make it more attractive, and then you have to break the monotonousness. So if you keep going into the same tone, pitch, same tones, then people will get bored. So it has to be like more creative, come up with something new in the book, give some kind of bonuses in the book, give some kind of information so that they can go and implement some of the tasks. You also put down like next step system after each chapter, so or like some learning outcome from the chapter, so that will keep them engaged. And they can also write down few notes on after each chapter, so you can like creatively design something in the chapters. And then in chapter 11, basically, as you go through a frequently asked questions, so you may probably know that the audience who is reading this book and learning about that product or the training or that whatever field you are into, then they will have some standard questions. So you basically address those questions in the frequently asked questions, explain them everything before even those questions are arised. You're just giving them that we have shortlisted, for example, 20 top questions what people were facing problem. For example, in my business, if we are really teaching somebody how to invest in property, and then if they may have a fear, they may have some kind of other questions. So we basically address them that, we basically have observed and come up with 50, 60 questions why people don't invest in property, for example. And then we say, in some of the cases they have, like, the parent has lost money or their parents has lost money, so they lost a belief or they lost a, you know trust from the property, and that's why they don't invest. And then we basically have to give them a solution. But the reason they have basically lost money in the property is because A, they did not learn enough, and then they B is they may have made this mistake, that mistake. And then, so of course, otherwise we say that, once you've learned how to invest in property, there's virtually no risk in property investment. That's why it's called real estate, which you can really feel it, touch it, and then you can grow it. So these are the things that you can really put down in the frequently asked questions. They may have then different type of questions where they'll say, okay, but I don't have money, how will I invest? Then you say, okay, fine. Now basically in property investment business, you don't need to have money. All you need to have is being resourcefulness. Once you are resourceful, you can do anything. And then in order to be resourceful, when you come to a workshop, we'll show you how you can be resourceful in a property business. That's why we have done deals with £1, because it doesn't need the money, all it needs a deal or the resourcefulness. Because when you are resourceful, you can really do a deal. So those type of frequently asked questions that you have to put into your system or into your book in one of the chapter. Yeah, then you have chapter number 12. In the chapter here, we are basically now finalizing our book, finishing with like reviewing summary. Because imagine, like, if you're writing a book, not everybody is going to read word to word. Yeah, or there may be many things they will not remember when they wrote. But here is your opportunity to refresh their memory. Here is the opportunity even where you can refer back them to another chapter. You might say, in the chapter number so and so I mentioned about this, and in chapter number so and so I said this. So then they can also go back and then just refer those points. So here all you're giving is basically overall summary of what you've taught them, overall review of the things that they have read in the book. And then if they miss something, they can again go back and then read that book. And also when you're finishing your book, finish with some heart touching story. So you tell them about all, whether whatever went wrong in your life, or what has basically was your turning point in your life. And also give them a takeaway at the end, like, so what they basically, something that they can take away. Let's say, for example, you can say, why to fit in when you are born to stand out, or something that can still stick in their mind after even reading your book, so they will remember you. And these are the places where you can put all of those information. And then also in your book at the end, you can also put some next step. So let's say this is like a call to action kind of thing. So let's say after after your audience has finished your book, what exactly you want them to do. So that's like call to action. So you can say, join my Facebook community group, or join my mastermind group, or come and join my workshop where I'm going to go through more in details. And like, as you can see here, we are saying that, of course, so our main aim, of course, when we are saying that you go to this Facebook group, then they can join the Facebook group and then they are still engaged with you. So when you have something else, you can always update them, or you can ask them to join the mastermind group or your next upcoming workshop. Or if you have some more books, you can also mention about your more books. Or if you have some more product, you can just mention about, I've got this company, that company, I also do this, that, where they can just get involved with you. So all those information can go here as a call to action. So exactly whatever you want them to do, you list down everything there. If there is a website that you want them to go to, you put that down there. If there is some next action that you want them to do, then you can put them down here. Yeah, so publishing your book for free. Yeah, so that's what we basically show. One is you can use the Kindle, where you can really publish your book for free. Amazon allows you that features. Of course, when you come in our workshop, we also show you step by step how you can really do that. And you can otherwise go on Amazon or Kindle's website. You can also see them. They might have some tutorials that will be helpful. And then there are other strategies. This is the main part. Actually, this is where we show you basically this one thing itself is basically worth anything, like worth the whole price of this workshop. Because once you've seen the strategy, how you can really publish your book for free, even not just Amazon, so many other places and other ways that can really make your business, I mean, 2x, 3x, or even more than that. This strategy itself, which we show you how to publish the book, can really help a huge way, and that can really come, you know. Now, of course, we have students, many students we have taught, even some of our students like 9 years who has written the books in 30 hours. Yeah, so he is one of my student who wrote his book at age 9 in 30 hours itself. So which basically shows that there is no reason, if a 9 years old can write a book by following our proven system, why is there is a reason anybody else cannot do? So anyone can do by using this proven system. And so we run this basically 3 days book writing online training, where we are basically doing it on live. So we are live, but we are sitting in our own place, and then everything is basically, all the instructions are given, you're writing, and then we are always all writing in a like-minded environment. Everybody is participating, you are also getting inputs, we are also helping you to extract the knowledge with this proven system. There is a strategies that we have developed over a period of time that really helps you to extract the knowledge out of your head in such a way that can be placed in a book and complete your book. And we show you in our workshop how you can really do that. And that's, yes, is in 30 hours. I mean, that's depends on you. Some people might probably spend the 30 hours in those 3 days itself. Some people might find themselves a bit slow, and then they say, you know what, we'll probably take our own time. They might take a week. It's up to you how you take. Some might take 10 days. But then overall, like, this is the time period that once you've learned that strategy, you can really finish your book in 30 hours, and you can write as many book after that once you've learned the process of this workshop. So this workshop cost 1497, where we teach you how to write a book. And this is like, because you are ensuring it's like a more small coaching or mastermind group where you end up getting the result for sure. And this 1497 you're only paying once, but then you will write as many book as you like by using this proven system. And you can also keep selling your book, everything that you make from the book, all yours. So basically you will cover your course fees very quickly after selling few books. And then also we'll provide you one-to-one mentoring session as well. Those who need mentoring, we normally charge 997. And it's not only just the book mentoring, because as you know, I've owned multiple businesses. So basically anywhere you are stuck in your life, whether it's a property, whether it's a business, whether it's a life coaching, normally we notice people have three type of problems. Either they have a health problem, they have wealth problem, they have relationship issues. And I basically a coach and mentor in all those three fields. So I have a health coaching, a wealth coaching, also life coaching. So even anywhere you need our help in. So I'm not just saying, when you bought a book writing program only, I'll only handle that part. So whatever your questions are, I'll help you to understand you where you are now, and to guide you through where you want to go to, so that you will have a completely hand holding process where we'll show you how to achieve that goal. Also, while you are joining our workshop, basically uh, as a bonus, you will be getting this uh, opportunity to join our team again, as I mentioned. So we have so many other training programs as well, but then this book writing itself, which I do not do so many time in a year, but then I'm looking for some more trainers who can join our team. So when you are becoming good into book writing, once you have excel into what we have taught you, then we will take you on our board, so that going forward you can use our proven system, you can use our template slide and system that you can teach others. So basically you don't even have to do anything, just use our system, just use our audience, just everything else. So you will have opportunity. That's why we kept it priceless, because you can really make a lot of money here by just using that and becoming our partner. And then also, when you are basically having this workshop with us, I will be giving you my testimonial in your book that you can write, and also whatever we understand about you, the best we feel, what are the good and strength in you, we'll write a positive words in your book as a testimonial. And also you will be able to make a lot of money by recommending our program. Again, it's a priceless thing. I mean, of course, it's like you will end up making more money than by recommending this program than what you're paying here in the workshop. So this is an opportunity in a way. If you look at it from a business point of view, you can make more than what you will pay. And you will get an opportunity to join our mastermind Facebook group. So here what you get is basically, if you have any questions going forward, you can just write down. The whole community will be there to help you because we like to grow as a family actually. So everybody is there to help you out. So if you are stuck in anywhere in your life, you just drop a message there, and then we'll pick it up, somebody else will pick it up, and then they will basically answer your questions or wherever you are in your stage. That's worth £600. So total is worth £3,094, and of course whatever bonus extra which we have kept priceless, you get it completely free. But I've got a good news here for you. £4, I'm going to just charge £497 only. Since we are running it online, so our costs are low, we'll keep it low for you. And also I'm not going to charge any fee. I mean, so I'll keep, once you're joining us, basically by 30th of May, then 30th of May 2020, depends when you're watching this. Of course, you can check whatever, if we have offer is still available, then we'll give you one-to-one free mentoring, because of course my time is limited. I mean, I can't really offer this to everyone else, but whoever is basically taking action, so I'll really like to reward them by giving them more bonuses. So as long as this offer is available when you're joining me, then we'll give you free mentoring, because this free mentoring is worth more than even the course cost. So it's no brainer, like you will definitely get more value, because like as I mentioned, this is not only the mentoring for book writing, but it's a mentoring for life. So many things where you feel that you are stuck in your life, this can really solve that problem, and then you can really go much faster. Because thing is that money can come back, but the time will never come back. If you try to do everything yourself, it will take you much longer. And of course, the rest of the bonus, you join our team, remains as it is. You will have all free. You will have my testimonial as well. You will also be getting, and also the Facebook group you join is completely free. So basically, all that together, we are only going to charge $497. There is a strict mark. So this is only if you agree to become my testimonial when I help you to get a result. So when your book is completed, when you are really excelling in your life, and if we feel that we should take your I mean, you could just give us a testimonial that we can use it. That's all we would expect. That's it. And you can have this course for you only for $497 today. And what if you do not really take this offer? So if you resist to place a virtual risk free bet on yourself, then what will you lose? So let's say if you're really not willing to take a risk of putting this £497 by buying this course, you first of all will lose this bonus, which we owing this discount of thousands of pounds that we're giving. You probably won't find it lasting for long. All the bonus which I mentioned, which is worth over £5,000 plus all those priceless things and everything else, that may not last for long. Even as I mentioned, the mentoring session itself is worth much more. That will not also last. And then you see the potential to get the result. Like the potential to get the result, and what would you be losing in terms of opportunity cost? See, as I mentioned, the time will never come back. Your money, of course, you will make much more money in a very short period of time. And 497 is anyways nothing. I mean, it's if you split, like if you just write a book, that itself will give you this in a passive income. You may have seen a lot of people have made much more than this much money in a month just from the book itself. So probably your break-even point will come in a couple of months, or depends how good you are. But then again, more than that is the knowledge that you learn, the time that you will save. There is no money that we can put against that, the knowledge, because you will always keep using that knowledge. You can even also help your family, friends, or anyone else. So this really always stays with you. They say that knowledge, nobody can steal from you, or it's always grows. It can't really go out. Yeah. And I normally say that if you're goals do not challenge you, then they won't change you. So, like, we need to have a goal. Look, God has gifted us or given us so much, knowledge on the skills or experience as a gift. Why to play so small? Play big. Share your gift with others. Write the book. That's the whole reason. I like really all my people in our community to write as many books as possible. Share the knowledge with others. I mean, the more you share, the knowledge is such thing that more you share, the more it grows, and you keep growing, and then you can even write so many things. Even when I wrote my first book, I never thought I will keep writing one after two, three, four, five books and all those. I mean, but I keep writing because I felt like, I have so many books inside my head, so I should take them out. So that's what I would suggest. You take all the knowledge out. I mean, and if you are not sure, don't worry. When you join a workshop, we'll show you, we'll extract the knowledge out of your head, and then once you've seen the process going through once, then you will be able to implement that again, and you will be able to see how really it's becoming so easy to write a book once you've seen our proven system. We say, why try so hard to fit in when you're born to stand out? In Hindi, sometime I say, आप भीड़ का हिस्सा बनना चाहते हो या भीड़ का कारण बनना चाहते हो? तो भीड़ का कारण बनो, भीड़ का हिस्सा नहीं. I mean, so stand out. Why try so hard to fit in when you're born to stand out? Just become a reason for the crowd, not to be a part of the crowd. And now, if still you are not sure, then here is another bonus special for you. So basically, the second, when you buy one, you can have the second one for free for your partner, because we want, like, your whole family to grow. We work together, so you can have your partner as well together. So effectively, then may cost only 248. In fact, when you're joining it online, of course, you can have the whole family sitting with you, learning from, together. There's no issues with that. So effectively speaking, is hardly cost anything, then only few couple of £100, which is nothing, and the knowledge will stay with you forever. So join us for the 3 days live online bootcamp that where we'll show you all this proven system, where we uh, take all the information. So even if you're not sure what to write, how to write, don't worry. Even if you're on the beginning stage, we'll start everything, we'll design it for you. Even if you have no idea, don't worry, everything will go through in those 3. These are like intensive work program. So here you see, like 10 a.m. we start at 8:30, which is like 10 hours every day, sort of. Of course, you get a break and everything, but then effectively speaking, you're spending your 30 hours of time. And once you learn, it's up to you, like how you spend that time, but you will know the system, how you are going to write the book in 30 hours, and then you can just write that. So the next workshop which we have is on 3rd of July to 5th of July, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whole 3 days. Or in case if you miss that one, or if that day you are not available, you can join our following one. So just you can keep these dates saved in your diary. And in order to book that training, all you have to do is just go to bit.ly bit.ly/book writing training. So all you have to do is just go to bit.ly / make a note of this link here, which I'll leave it for a few seconds, and then also just you make a note, and then all you have to do is just enter the details on, you'll go on a website, otherwise on Success Resources Ventures, that's successresourcesventures.com, and you can book a book writing training program from there. In case if you don't find that link there, you can also use this bit.ly /book writing training. And if you have any questions, you can ask me those questions now. So I've got some questions here. Okay, the first one is, so are we going to write the book in 3 days, even though I have no topic in mind, or I have never thought of writing a book? Yes, that's right. I mean, as I mentioned, basically, even if you're completely fresh, don't worry. We will show you, we'll give you all the ideas, how to write a book. If you have your own ideas, that's well and good. We'll also show you what type of books to write, how to write, what type of contents to write. So you don't worry about it. You will, even if you are starting right from the scratch, we'll go through very basic, step by step, how to really choose your book title, how to choose your cover page, how to choose the contents that you're writing, how to choose various chapters that you're going to write, everything step by step. Imagine, like as I mentioned, even 9 years old has wrote a book by using our proven system. So you can understand, of course, they also, that 9 years old does not have anything, even he never had an idea of writing a book, but we have given him everything, and the system is such that even a 9 years old can write this book. So certainly you can also do. Okay, any other questions? I'll keep waiting as long as I can answer all the questions. I'll be here only. Yes. So if there are no more questions, then thank you very much. So I'll hope to see you once again once you've registered on the other side of a workshop. And if you need any more help, you can always successresourcesventures.com, which is www.successresourcesventures.com, and you can join our training program by using the bit.ly/book writing training, and then you can also feel free to contact us if you need more information. So thank you very much for joining. We'll look forward to seeing you soon.